hurt, and guess what? Your demand vanishes because people ain't gonna pay up to see these athletes that are ungrateful that there's 4.
So, you just heard how Caitlin Clark's injury sent the WNBA All-Star Game into a financial tailspin. But honestly, that first shockwave? It was a multi-million-dollar catastrophe. And that's not even the full story, it's just the beginning. While everyone was focused on the chaos in Indianapolis, something much bigger and riskier was quietly unfolding behind the scenes. What's crazy is that WNBA players are now reportedly being aggressively recruited to play overseas, especially in Europe. All because of this Clark situation. It almost feels like a full-blown exodus could be on the horizon. Now, the league office probably doesn't want us talking about this, but the word is that the WNBA might actually be using its own instability to push top players toward international contracts, where the pay and respect are both better, and to really understand why players are thinking about leaving. You have to understand just how big this disaster was, and how it exposed the league's weaknesses. This wasn't just fans second-guessing things. The WNBA basically got a financial no-confidence vote the moment Caitlin Clark went down. And the numbers? They're wild. As soon as Clark announced she was stepping away from the All-Star festivities, ticket prices dropped 48%, from $121 down to $64, in just a few hours. Think about that. The average ticket was once over $120, the highest ever for a WNBA All-Star game. Then suddenly, teams couldn't even give them away. Overnight, a huge chunk of the $10 million Indianapolis was projected to make from the weekend just vanished. This whole situation brutally exposed how the league built its entire growth strategy around one single player. And now that player, the cornerstone of their success, is injured, overloaded, and starting to break down. You've got opportunistic European clubs circling like sharks. And that, my friends, is blood in the water. But this isn't just about money. The real question is, why did the money vanish in the first place? Because the league's most valuable asset, their golden goose, was pushed too hard for too long. And believe me, every other WNBA player is watching this very closely. This wasn't some random injury. Caitlin Clark has already missed 11 games this season, because of 4 different muscle issues. And this is the same player who famously never missed a single game throughout her entire career at Iowa. Or during her rookie WNBA season. She was the definition of durability. So what changed?
Seeing firsthand what Caitlin Clark is worth to this league. Especially.
And get this, on social media, both fans and even commentators are pointing fingers directly at the Indiana Fever organization. A lot of people believe the team's medical staff and injury care protocols are shockingly subpar, especially when compared to NBA standards. Even Caitlin Clark's coach, Stephanie White, has admitted how brutal the physical toll is. 40 minutes of constant contact, loading, exploding, accelerating, and decelerating. It pushes the body in completely different ways, so when the league's biggest star goes from being practically unbreakable to constantly injured in just one season, every other player starts paying attention. They're seeing a system that failed to protect its most valuable asset, and they're asking themselves a very simple question. If it can happen to her, what's stopping it from happening to me? Meanwhile, these international predators, the European leagues, have been waiting for exactly this kind of panic and loss of confidence. Now, while this main story is backed by credible industry sources, we're about to connect some dots that step into rumor territory. There's a wild report circulating that European basketball leagues are now actively hunting for American players, using the WNBA's instability and poor injury management as part of their pitch. They've been watching the Clark situation unfold. The injuries, the frustration, the backlash, and now they're making their move. And honestly, their sales pitch is disturbingly effective. Let's break it down. First, they start with the money, obviously. Reports say top European offers can exceed WNBA salaries, though not always. But higher pay is an easy hook for athletes who already feel underpaid and undervalued at home. That's what gets agents to pick up the phone. But that's not the real knockout blow. The real power in their pitch isn't the money. It's the promise of everything the WNBA isn't giving right now. Stability, respect, and professional security. Documents and sources are clear. European leagues are selling players on better job protection, better medical treatment, and an overall higher standard of care. Think about it from a player's perspective. You've just watched the league's biggest star go through intense rehab. You've seen the questions all over social media about her team's medical staff. You're watching a league that feels disorganized and disconnected. Why wouldn't you at least listen to that overseas call?
Yeah, pay attention. Pay attention. We saw the viewership drop. Ticket sales dropping. Attendance dropping.
So imagine you're that player, stuck in the middle of all this uncertainty, and then your phone rings. It's a team from Spain or the EuroLeague. They're not just offering you a contract. They're offering you peace of mind. They're promising top-tier medical care, elite facilities, and an organization that genuinely protects your health and helps you grow your career. When your own league looks like it's running its stars into the ground, that kind of security sounds pretty appealing. And that's exactly how these recruiters are exploiting the WNBA's biggest weakness, and it's working. But what's making it worse is the league itself. The WNBA keeps adding fuel to the fire with its own internal chaos, especially around the Collective Bargaining Agreement, or CBA. And this is where things take a darker turn, because it's not just about bad luck, it's about bad management. The relationship between the players and the league's leadership has completely broken down. And it couldn't have happened at a worse time. The current CBA expires on October 31, 2025, and negotiations have already turned into a public fight. Remember that all-star game that was falling apart financially? Well, the players used that stage to send a message loud and clear. During warm-ups, they wore black shirts with bold white letters. "You owe us money, give it to US." That wasn't a subtle protest. It was an outright declaration of frustration, and that anger is being echoed by the union's biggest names. Breanna Stewart, a WNBA vice president, called the latest CBA meeting a total missed opportunity. Angel Reese went even further, saying, "We won't stop until we get what we want."
Know why tickets prices dropped? Because people quit buying the damn tickets. People was asking for refunds for the damn tickets. So you want to know what they had to do? Damn near give them away, bro.
So on one side you've got the players, angry, frustrated, and honestly fed up. Then you've got Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, telling the media that the talks are productive and beneficial. That massive disconnect between what the commissioner says and what the players are actually feeling. That's exactly where European recruiters are planting their seeds. They're telling players, "Why fight for respect in a league that won't give it to you when we're ready to give it to you right now?" And it's not just fringe players looking for a pay raise who are at risk anymore. The ripple effect could reach the league's biggest stars. We already know that many top American players, even former MVPs, play overseas during the WNBA offseason. But now the real fear is that the toxic environment at home might convince them to stay there for good. When you see your league ignoring talents like Aya Wilson because of a one-sided obsession with Clark, the idea of being the star on a European team suddenly looks very tempting. If a player of that caliber decided to walk away permanently, if that domino fell, the WNBA would be in serious trouble. Because this isn't just about losing one player. It's about how the league is perceived globally. A successful European poaching campaign would devastate the WNBA, its reputation, its marketability, and its competitive quality. Think about it. If the best players leave, the on-court product suffers, viewership drops, sponsors pull out, and suddenly, those same stars are promoting rival leagues overseas that are pouring money into marketing and TV deals. Every player the WNBA loses strengthens the competition. It's that simple. The Caitlin Clark All-Star incident didn't cause this crisis. It just exposed IT revealed everything the league has been struggling to hide. A broken relationship with its players, an unhealthy reliance on one superstar, eroding trust in medical safety, and non-stop public drama. Right now the WNBA is in a race against time, fighting to stop an external threat while patching up its own internal collapse. Because make no mistake, the poaching has already begun. This exodus isn't a theory anymore, that it's happening. So I'll leave it to you. What do you think? Is the WNBA truly facing an existential crisis because of this European threat? Or are the players just using all this as leverage in the CBA talks? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay ahead of stories the mainstream won't touch, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Because this fight for the league's survival is only just beginning.